All right, so we're here for the for the weekly live stream. I'm just curious. Hope we lost a guy there, and it looks like we lost first 508. So he'll be right back. And a quick question for everybody is, where's everybody watching from tonight? So all those guys that are in the comments, we're just curious where everybody's watching from. I see we got a few. Guess we got Skydog Reviews, and we got Jimmy, we got Open Word, we got Daniel, we got quite a few of already watching. And I'm just curious where everybody's from. And we're going to go roundtable here. And first of all, I am wearing the new, this is the Lloyd by Shirt Show. It's the Rad Cap. And just got this in the mail today. And Dubs, what about you, bud? What are you wearing?
Wearing the Wildling from Funky Brims. It's a patchwork, pretty cool cap. I like it. Yeah.
And Ox?
I'm wearing it's called the Gottman cap, and it's Harris tweed, Scotland, 100% wool. I got this from the Crescendo Market in Bethlehem, PA. It's from Sunflower Trading Company, and the website is onefreshhat.com. Very similar to the Switcher November rain pattern.
Chad, what cap you got on, buddy?
I've got on the Peaky hat, apple core in gray.
All right, and we're going to go ahead and introduce our first one. Troy is running a little late, so our first one's going to be on. We are going to introduce Ed to the store, or to the show. So Ed, everybody welcome Ed. And Ed,
what's up, Ed?
What's up, Ed?
What's going on, Ed?
What's up, Ed? Good to see you.
All right, Ed, what kind of cap you got on, bud?
Just like you, I've got the Rad Cap from Shirt Show. This is the gray one with it's herringbone, and not gray, it's more of a blue herringbone and a little bit of a plaid pattern over it. Very traditional, very old school. It just felt right for today.
All right. So we're going to go ahead and kind of get right into it here. Ed, you are impressive in a way with your whole body transformation that you have going on, and also with you being a tax guy. But the first thing here, most people here that want to know is your top 3 caps. And
top 3.
So we're going to go with that one first.
All right, so top 3. It would have been a little different before yesterday, but today I have to say the Rad Cap from Shirt Show. This is becoming a new favorite right here. 100% wool, has a nice little winter lining, super comfortable. Love this cap. This is going to be an everyday cap for me. My other cap, top 3, has to be the Swisher Gatsby Crest. And Ox and I, last time we hung out, I was wearing this cap. This is probably the most perfect fitting cap I own. I did a little bit of stretching when I first picked it up, and ever since then, it's perfect, absolutely perfect for me. And because Boston Scally are the ones that brought us all to the table, I have to pick one that nobody thinks about, which is their 5-panel. This is their brown herringbone 5-panel cap.
Great cap.
I've got a couple of those.
Yeah, I got a couple myself. I think this is the best of both worlds. You got the 4 panels on the back from an 8-panel Scally, and you got the front of a flat, ivy cap, and it just fits. It hugs the head nicely. It's super comfortable. It's one of my favorite caps to wear. Well, that's my top 3 right there.
I'm sorry, just a moment.
And Ed, just curious, bud, what is what got you in, and is it to the whole Scally thing? And I mean, what got you involved? What's got you hooked? I know we talked a little bit earlier about the one you've had for a while.
Yeah, so I have this old cap. This was actually a gift from my daughter's godfather. He went to Ireland, to Dublin on a trip, and he picked up a couple of Donegal tweed caps for him and myself. This cap is almost identical to the one Todd just put out. And this was one of the first flat caps I had. Absolutely loved it. Had it for 10 years, almost 15 years before I ended up discovering Boston Scally. And just on a whim, I looked up, flat cap in double extra large. And one of the first images that came up was Conor McGregor wearing the Legacy in black with this hat right here. And I have had conversations about this cap.
Yeah, same thing.
Yeah, right. This cap right here, I saw Conor McGregor wearing it in an ad. I found out what Boston Scally was. Fell in love with it. This was the first cap I bought. Then I discovered that they made these patchwork hats. This is the tradesman. I was hunting this hat down for months until they finally restocked it. I didn't even hesitate. I just bought it. And my obsession with flat caps started there. Boston Scally introduced me to the 8 panels and the 6 panels. So obviously, 50, 60, 70 caps in. I have a little bit of everything now. But yeah, it's the flat caps, the Ivy caps. That's where it started for me.
Sweetness. And now let's go ahead and hit a little bit on your body transformation. What exactly got you started on that? And was it a wake up call, or what was it that had that happen?
Yeah, it was definitely a wake up call. Like, during the lockdowns in 2020, I found myself getting, working from home, getting really ballooning, right? Stuffing your face at home. There's nowhere to go, nothing to do. And I put on a lot of weight real fast and I couldn't get it off. And about a year ago this time, October, November of last year, I clocked in at 290, blood pressure through the roof. Everything felt like physically, I felt like everything was falling apart. And I actually started seeing, as I'm looking at videos, I started seeing some of your videos, your walking for weight loss videos.
Uh-huh.
And I saw the drastic weight loss you were showing. I said, you know what, I got to get off my ass and do something. And it took a couple of months. I found a gym in my town that does boxing, kickboxing, and strength training. And my wife and I joined together. And the first couple of months, it was like a little seesaw. I saw a couple of pounds go and come here and there. And then March of this year is when I really locked in. The coach gave me like a whole meal plan, worked on my nutrition. And since joining, I've dropped about 32, 33 pounds. I put on
Congratulations.
about, thank
Congrats.
you.
That's awesome,
Thank,
man.
I think I put on
Awesome.
maybe like 10 pounds of muscle. I'm deadlifting almost my weight right now. I'm at 230 deadlifts. It's it's pretty cool. I love it. And now fitness has become a part of my life.
That's
All
the
right.
most
Looks like
important thing is once it
yeah,
gets to become part of routine, that's the whole battle is just getting
yeah,
it to become routine.
yeah. Breaking that cycle. Exactly. And
Yep.
it becomes
Yeah.
a routine. And it looks like Troy just now joined us. So we're going to go ahead and add Troy. Welcome,
All
Troy. How
right.
are you
Hey,
today, sir?
everybody.
What's
What's up,
up,
brother? Good
Troy?
to see you.
Hey, it's
Going
good to
on,
be
man?
here.
What's up,
Thank you
Troy?
for having me.
And Troy, we weren't able to get a little bit on here before the show, the pre-show here. But first thing we're going to do is go ahead and introduce yourself and what exactly you do, and in your top 3 caps.
Okay. Well, I'm Troy Harper, and I manage a grocery store called Main Street Market here in Kimball, Nebraska. On the side, I do I'm a brand ambassador for a cigar company called the Boutique Cigar out of Royal Palm Beach, Florida. So I do that on the side. And other than that, I just try to spend as much time with my family as I can. So I keep pretty busy with my store and with the cigar stuff on the side. So, but that's what I do. So, and you wanted to know what my top 3 caps are or 5 caps?
Well, whatever you want to do. If you want to do 5, we can do 5.
Okay. Well, I'd have to say this is probably one of my absolute favorites from the Boston Scally Company. The Scrooge.
Yep.
For my flat caps, this is probably my favorite, along with this one right here, the Slaint. So I'd have to say these are probably my top 2 favorite flat caps. This was the very first cap I bought 4 years ago was the Kenmore. So that's still probably my very favorite, actually, just since it was my very first Boston Scally cap. So let's see here. And probably, I don't know, I really like the Dorchester. It's one of my favorite 6-panel caps anyway. And then I've really started really liking the Baker Boys. So those are probably my other favorites. So
I like that Dorchester, man. It's a nice cap.
yeah, it's
that is-
it's definitely one of my favorites. I bought the Boondock first and then I bought that one too. And then probably I have to say this Contender is probably one of my absolute favorites too for a flat cap. So
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
so those are probably my absolute favorites. I'd
Well,
have
I
to
got to
say.
ask, Troy, what about the one on your head right now? What is that one?
Well, this was my very first flat cap I ever bought. I bought this back in 1991 by Wilson Leather. And
Wilson
I was in high
Leather.
school.
still
Nice.
wear it to this day. But yeah, that's probably the
That's
very first one I ever bought.
that's an old friend, man.
Yeah.
What's that?
That's an old friend.
It is. It is. It hangs on my wall every day, and I wear it quite a bit still. I wear it quite a
Yeah.
bit. If I'm wearing my black leather jacket, I'll wear it with it, all the time. So, but yeah, and it's been one of my favorites. It's been, it's a very comfortable cap, and it brings back a lot of great memories every time I wear it, of course. So
That's
Nice.
awesome.
so
All right, so we're going to go ahead and ask some questions here. We're going to start off with back to Ed. Now, I kind of hit a little bit on there as well, and I know these guys want to ask some questions as well. So I already asked my question for you. So who wants to go first? You want to go first, Anox? Or you want to go first, Dub? What do you want to do?
I guess we'll go with
What-
double work around and down.
Okay,
Yeah,
sounds
man.
good.
You talked about your diet and everything. What does it look like? Like, what are you eating right now? Like,
So, yeah, no, that's a great question.
yeah,
So, first thing I did, one of the most important things was getting rid of like processed sugars, processed carbs.
yeah,
So no soft drinks. No, I don't even drink juices. I literally drink seltzer water, black coffee, and I mean whenever I want to indulge, I'll have some whiskey neat. But it's really water, seltzer, and black coffee for the most part. As far as food goes, I'll still have like because I've worked on my nutrition, I still do like natural carbs. I'll still have like sweet potatoes and I have rice and things like that. But everything
yeah,
is very measured, right? We measure our macros here.
Mhm.
So very like I literally will have half a cup of rice with a really good amount of protein, whatever meat, whether it's chicken or beef, fish, and there's always some type of vegetable on the side. So I'm very very regimented about the lunches and the dinners that we
yeah,
have, where I'm not cutting out like for example the other night we had Five Guy burgers, right? I'll still have a burger, but I'm not going to sit there and eat two burgers in one sitting, or I'm not going to sit there and eat a burger every night.
Mhm.
Right?
yeah,
It's the one off, right? I love pizza. I'm from New York City. Pizza is like
yeah,
I
it's
love
almost like
pizza.
religion. It's like religion to us, right? So a slice of pizza, I
Yeah,
won't eat
right.
pie, but I'll have a slice.
Hell yeah.
So
Why live
I
then if you can't have a slice?
yeah, exactly, right. So what I do is everything in moderation. And I avoid the things that I know are gonna just put the weight back on. So this,
yeah,
heavy sweets and stuff. I'm not eating a pack of cookies. I might eat one cookie, just to not just to kind of, you know, meet that craving.
yeah,
But yeah, it's honestly about just having more self-control about it because especially there were times when I could sit there eat a whole sleeve of Chips Ahoy cookies and not even think twice. Now we don't even buy them.
I, I've been there. I know exactly what you're saying. There's a period of I had 3 years where I was pretty much injured, tore my soleus muscle, tore my plantar fascia tendon, and I didn't do anything for about 2.5 years, and I gained about
mm,
100 pounds. I couldn't play basketball anymore. So I lost all those
Yeah.
athletic things I was able to do. And you wouldn't be surprised just sitting around the house eating 2 rows of cookies while you're watching TV, and then not
Yeah,
even realize
yeah.
you're killing yourself in the long run. Yep.
And
yeah,
it happens so fast too, man. It's just like boom.
absolutely. That's that's
Mhm.
that's what the pandemic was for
Yeah,
me, man. I went from weighing like 250 to weighing 290 within like a year or two.
Huh.
And then that 290 stayed on until like last fall, last winter. And then once I got in the habit of it, it's only
yeah,
3 days a week. I'm in the gym hitting the bags 5 a.m. Then on the weekends, my wife and I will do doubles. So we'll do a strength training class and then we'll do a boxing class. There's nights where I'll go back to the gym and I'll spar and stuff, but depending on what the schedule looks like. We actually have an armed forces recruitment center right next door, and the Army recruiter and the Marine recruiter are actually members of our gym. So there's nights where, or even like 5 a.m. classes where we're there working out with the military. It's pretty cool.
that's
Mhm.
awesome. Yeah.
All right. And you got a question for him?
Yeah. Talk a little bit about growing up in the Bronx, New York City. I'm from Queens, and just not only growing up in the Bronx, but the time period really was like a renaissance. Like the late '70s, '80s with the hip hop and the graffiti and the DJing and the rapping and the break dancing was the Renaissance movement. And it grew in the '80s, peaked in the '90s. Just growing up in the Bronx at that time, how did that affect your style now at all? I know the Kangos were in back then. Me being from Queens, I would take a Scally and turn it backwards. So just explain how like that culture affects, kind of works into your style now, or how you stood out back then with your own style.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So first and foremost, Troy, I'm going to do this for you. I'm going to switch over to the Contender because this is probably one of my favorite Boston Scally hats right here.
All right.
Yeah, the Contender is one that it's one of those, if I could wear it every day, I probably would.
Well, I'm wearing mine also.
Twinsies.
Love it. All right, so I had the good fortune of I was actually born in Manhattan, New York City, the northern section of it, Washington Heights. But I spent most of my time as a kid in the Bronx, and then I eventually moved to the Bronx, and I lived in the Bronx for 20 years. But the Bronx was pretty much my backyard. Growing up in apartment buildings in New York City, none of us have a backyard. You have a courtyard for your building, and you have the streets. And my mom used to work at a salon in the Bronx, and my godparents actually owned that salon. So I spent a lot of time going up there. We have this big park that borders the Westchester County and Bronx County border called Van Cortlandt Park. There's like golf courses there and all this stuff. So that was our summer camp, right? Every summer we take the subway up to the last stop, get off, go into Van Cortlandt Park. We had basketball courts, tennis courts, the public pool up there. So I spent my entire childhood hanging out in the Bronx, listening to hip hop music and punk rock, going to punk shows in the city whenever I was able to sneak off into one, doing stuff like that. And obviously, growing up, a kid of the '80s and the '90s, our style was pretty much streetwear. We'd wear there was that period of Kangos like Anox mentioned, wearing the Kango hats backwards. Since if the hip hop artists were wearing it, like the Slick Ricks, all the way to like the Notorious B.I.G., we were wearing it. When they started wearing those like Coogee sweaters, those Bill Cosby big sweaters, we started wearing those. When sports jerseys became a thing, we're like, all right, we all own a Yankee jersey or a New York Giants jersey. Let's start
Starter
wearing
jacket.
other starter jackets. And
Starter
all of a sudden,
jackets.
like for me, listen, growing up, I never watched a single hockey game in my life, but all of a sudden, my friends and I were all wearing hockey jerseys once
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it became popular, right? In the late '90s, hockey jerseys became popular, and that's where the style evolved. And if our
Living
favorite
in
artist and
Minnesota, I
music,
grew up playing hockey.
yeah.
Well,
and
Yeah.
and
you know
for
what you
us,
said about good.
yeah, no, I was gonna say for us, it was, we'd play like, pick up football games and basketball games in the playgrounds. Hockey wasn't a thing for us, at least in like Black and Hispanic communities in the city. It wasn't until like you get some exposure to the kids in the suburbs that all of a sudden, oh, they play hockey out here. They play soccer. They play lacrosse. What is that?
Yep.
Uh,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Skydog reviews is what I remember. Members only jackets. Yeah, but
yeah,
I think
man,
I
listen,
had one of
man,
those as a kid.
yeah,
my
but
my
'80s,
dad,
like you said, growing up in Detroit where I grew up. I mean, obviously the New York was a heavy influence when, especially in the movies, you had Breakin' Two, Electric Boogaloo. You had,
yeah,
I mean, the
Yeah.
music.
He
I
he
mean,
knows about all that shit.
yeah. Eric B. Rakim. I was a huge. I think Rakim's the greatest lyricist of all time. But that's my opinion. But Boogie Down Productions. Yeah, Scott LaRock, rest
yeah,
in peace. Things like that. It was just an era of music that catapulted all the way to the Midwest and going to the West Coast to where you end up where you got in the '90s with the West Coast East Coast beef but yeah. So yep. And then music to me, I grew up in that era and I'm a huge hip hop guy. And
yeah.
but yeah, it's Jinko jeans.
Take
Yeah.
all the
Jingles.
So
Jinkos.
That
Oh
was like
yeah,
late '90s though. That was a little bit later, but yeah, I had those.
see that was after I was already out of school. So I
Yeah,
remember
yeah, yeah.
kids wearing them around, but yeah. All right, first 5 minutes. You got a question for Ed?
Yeah. What are you doing workout wise? I mean, are you doing a lot of cardio, or you doing some weight training, or mixing it up, or?
We mix it up. So my cardio is actually boxing. So we do my wife. So when I say we, I mean my wife and I. We go to it's a kickboxing gym, and we do 45-minute boxing sessions a couple days a week. Then we do strength training, like a lot of heavy lifting. Um, we like our coach mixes it up. He'll throw in. We have a rowing machine at the gym. We have a skier. Obviously we have all the weights and stuff. We have the trap bars and all that stuff. So there's 3 to 4 days a week. We're just doing heavy lifting, strength training. About 3 days a week of our cardio would be the boxing and kickboxing. And I mean, to the point where this is my set of gloves for bag work, and then I have another set of gloves for sparring, and it's become a lifestyle. But a lot of weight training, because part of it is just obviously the cardio can help you lose weight, but you don't build muscle without
Yeah.
actual strength training. So that's been a big part of it for me.
All right,
I've
and we're
worked.
going to take
I
it.
worked
Go
out
ahead,
most of my life. It's been a big part of my life. I really enjoy it. Once it becomes routine, it's really easy to keep it going. It's good to hear that you've had a lot of success with that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and we're still going.
I'm
and I think
58.
Chad, you're 58. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
you're
I'm
58.
58, and one of the ways I've found that really helps me keep weight off is I just eat one big meal a day. I do OMAD and intermittent fasting, and it allows me to eat what I want and still keep the weight off as long as I'm active. I walk miles a day with my dogs and stuff too. So,
Yeah,
but
that's
yeah, the
that's
older
actually
you get, the more important it gets to keep active. You use it or lose it.
100%. That's another
Yeah,
thing that I do. I normally do about 14 to 16 hour fast. And the only thing I'll drink, I'll have black coffee, I'll have water,
yeah, that's
and
what I do too. Yep.
like I'll have if I get hungry and I'm ready to break fast, I may have a protein bar, or I'll just wait until lunch and I'll have my lunch, I'll have my dinner when I get home. And but literally we're having dinner at 6. By 7 o'clock, there's nothing else I'm eating except drinking water until 9, 10, 11 o'clock the next day.
Nice.
That's the key. Anything I'm a 6 o'clock guy. Anything after 6 o'clock is just liquid.
Yeah.
And Ed, we're going to take a question from the audience here. And Mike Dane, what is your favorite kickboxing technique?
Kickboxing technique. Right now I'm really getting into like Muay Thai styles, right? Muay Thai training. It's not I'm not officially training Muay Thai yet, but I'm building my way up to that, because when I started taking the kickboxing class, it was a lot of the basics at first, right? Our coach is actually a semi-pro fighter, and he trains. He's a purple belt in jiu-jitsu and Brazilian jiu-jitsu, and he trains other fighters as well to get on like UFC fight cards. And shout out to Scooby Adam Barrero. He's a great guy, man, great guy. And he's been at first it was just doing all the basic stuff, learning traditional boxing, the punches, then adding the kicks in, and then now it's because I spent so much time in there with him. He started showing me some more of the mixed martial art movements, and like literally like learning the footwork, learning how to work not just like a tie bag, but also like the teardrop bag,
Mhm.
um, wrecking balls and stuff like that. And it's so much fun, man. I find myself shadow boxing at odd hours of the day when I'm not at the gym, and practicing like rewrapping my hands and wrists because I wear hand wraps under the gloves, just to get the technique down right and get it done quickly. Because the moment we're in the gym, that's it. Once we stretch, we warm up, we're hitting the bags, and then eventually there's nights where we're literally sparring with each other. We're practicing our teeps, we're practicing our leg sweeps and all that stuff. One of my favorite things now, I'm learning actually how to, actually, Muay Thai is they call it the art of 8 limbs, because you're using your knees,
Elbows.
using your feet,
Yep.
elbows, hands.
Uh-huh.
So
I Thai
learning
boxed
learning
for
those
years.
learning those moves where you're here to here right there. It's one of the most fun things that I've picked up. So I'm really enjoying that.
Yeah, I used to bounce back in the day, and when we had to go through training for that, elbows hit a lot harder than fists. So that's a
Yeah.
proven fact.
I
All
did
right.
some bouts
So,
too when I got out of the army.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right, Troy, it's your turn here. Now I got a question for you. I know you're into cigars, and I am not. I don't know much about cigars other than 10-hour cigars that Rockin used to refer to in his songs. But question for you is that I have you're a big music guy, and I know you go to a lot of concerts, and so I have got a question, and I know these other guys got a question as well. Out of you, first of all, what was your first concert you attended? The best concert you ever attended, and if you had to choose, or if you were able to see anybody dead or alive in concert, who would that be?
Oh gosh. Well, my first concert was Striper at the Paramount Theater in Denver, Colorado in January of 1997. And I joined a youth group just so I could go. I heard these kids talking about the hallway, so I joined the youth group because this youth group was going to go see them. So I joined this youth group just so I could go see him, and then after I got to go see him, I quit the youth group. So ended up working with them 3 years later. So it was fate, I guess. But let's see. So you said my first concert, my favorite concert. It'd have to be that first Striper show. Probably was my very first concert and my favorite still to this day. Besides any of the Kiss shows that I've seen. And who would I want to see that's either dead or alive? Man, I would love to see Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah, I would too.
Yeah,
Nice.
or the Who, the old Who. I'd love to see those guys. So,
Now we're going to go roundtable because I want everybody to answer this question as well. Myself, first concert I went to was back in March of 1987. It was the Beastie Boys' License to Ill tour at the Fox Theater in Detroit, Michigan. My favorite concert of all time was probably about 15 years ago. I went and saw a rapper called Tech Nine, and his live show was absolutely amazing. And,
Everybody talks about that, about his live shows, man.
But as far as an artist, dead or alive, dead or alive, I would have to go probably with Prince, just to go see him, and you know, especially back in the '80s. You know, he was.
I got to be an extra for Purple Rain when they were filming the concert scenes at First Avenue for that movie for Prince. We got to stay there all day long and watch him play, and we got paid like $30. It was awesome.
Got an extra at the lake scene with Apollonia. That's what you should have done.
wow. Chad, do you actually can you see yourself in the movie?
Not in that one. I was an extra in another movie called That Was Then, This Is Now with Emilio Estevez and Craig Shepard, and I'm in a couple of scenes in that movie.
Wow, how about
That's
that?
cool.
Wow.
My band had been playing a show downtown. I used to play drums in a punk band, and the casting director for the show saw our band play, and they hired us to play the lead girls brothers gang. The singer from my band had a pretty big part. He got beat up by Emilio Estevez in the movie. It was a lot of fun.
Oh, wow. Wow.
What about you, Brandon? What's your first concert, favorite concert, and favorite artist, dead or alive?
Yeah. The first concert I went to was the Doobie Brothers and Leonard Skinner with my dad, man. So
man.
That was pretty cool. My favorite,
Nice.
I guess, would be Ozfest, man. Back in the day, I got to see Pantera, Ozzy, and all that kind of stuff. So that was pretty cool.
Right on.
And the one that I wish that I could have seen would have been Lane Staley from Alice in Chains. So,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah, he was amazing. Too bad with him is addiction's a thing. And I got a quick question to answer here. Moose, have you ever been to an ICP show? I have, not because of them. I went to school with a local rapper in Detroit called Isham, and
I actually like some ICP songs.
yeah. So Isham actually introduced me to ICP a long time ago, and that's how I got to go to one of their shows. I never was at the show; I was at backstage. But yeah, but that was, and growing up around the Detroit area, that was a big thing. Was ICP?
You're a juggalo, man.
No juggalo here. Yeah. All right, Anox, let's hear from you, bud.
My first concert actually does not represent my musical taste at all because I actually won the tickets on Z100 it was the Jingle Ball, which is like in the first Jingle Ball for Z100, it was like a bunch of female artists. So it was like Sheryl Crow and Tracy Chapman. I think No Doubt headlined it. And so that was the first concert I'd ever been to, but that really doesn't represent too much of my musical taste, although that stuff's not bad. But I mean, my whole teenage years, I spent so much time down the Lower East Side of Manhattan, going to all different venues, and I had some really wild concert experiences, man. Like the Sugar Hill Gang, I saw them in a small place called the Wetlands, and they actually pulled me on stage during Rapper's Delight. I was up there with the Sugar Hill Gang during Rapper's Delight, dancing on stage.
Dude,
Heavy
that's
Ted was
crazy.
up there, Grandmaster Caz, Busy B, and
Hip
then
hop, hippity hip hop, it on to that.
yeah, and then also I don't know if you know Dick. I remember Dick Dale, the surf guitarist. He played that
Oh, yeah.
Pulp Fiction song, the song in Pulp Fiction. He was playing
Mhm.
that song literally with his guitar, like right in front of my face. And he was like, he said he used to glue the calluses back on his fingers just to play. And then I saw like, I'm a big like old school reggae fan. So again, Irving Plaza, Toots and the Maytals, if you ever heard of them, I was on stage with him during 5446. A lot of Scratch Perry I saw down there. I mean, and then I went to a lot of the regular mainstream rock shows, the K-Rock concerts and everything. I saw so many concerts, so many different genres I was into. I was a big part of the punk, ska, New York hardcore scene, where always basically hip hop was my main thing. I did see the Beastie Boys as well, but years later with the Hello Nasty tour with Biz Markie and Tribe. I'd have to say my favorite concert though was probably Gangstar and Rage Against the Machine. That was insane.
Rage.
That was
I've seen
insane.
Rage a few times. They're pretty good in
Yeah.
concert.
Yeah, with Gangstar open, and they actually had you know, police on horse outside. Like they had the riot squad there, like after the concert, you know. So that was crazy. That was the sickest pit I had ever seen or been part of. But my favorite artist of all time is Bob Marley, for sure. I think Bob Marley is the greatest singer-songwriter ever. I saw his sons this past summer, the Marley Brothers, which was absolutely amazing. I saw Ziggy years ago. So he's the one who I'd want to see in concert. You know, although unfortunately it's not going to happen. I did see his sons, and that's as close as I ever came to it. So
All right. You're up, Jed.
All right.
First concert I ever went to was Kiss, their Kiss Alive 2 concert when I was a kid. I think I was in 5th or 6th grade. My aunt took me to it. It was an awesome concert. I was a big Kiss fan as a kid. I've seen so many shows because I played in multiple punk bands before I went in the Army. Probably my favorite show was when we opened for the Exploited. We got to hang out with them, and they were a really cool band. We had a lot of fun, and I think that's probably holds the fondest memory for shows I've gone to. As far as who I'd like to see that is gone now, I would have loved to have seen Jimi Hendrix play. I was a big Jimi Hendrix fan growing up. Led Zeppelin also.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I saw
the
Page
thing
and
is-
Plant. Page and Plant was good with Jason Bonham. That was good.
And I envy Dubs being able to see Leonard Skinner. I'm a huge Leonard Skinner fan also. I mean, that's another one I would have loved to have seen.
Yeah, man, they
All
were
right.
pretty
So
good.
guess what, Ed? You're up, bud.
All right. So, I mean, growing up in New York City, I got to see a lot of like Latin music shows and stuff as a kid. My parents loved like going to live music shows. But I want to say my first concert was similar to what Anox did. There's actually a radio station in New York called Hot 97, that was the mecca for hip hop music in New York City in the 90s, 2000s. And Hot 97 has a concert series called Summer Jam. I think it was the first Summer Jam. One of my friends in middle school, his mom got one. I think she won tickets for it, and was like, I don't know what to do with these. So she actually took us to the show. This is before they went out and they did it out in New Jersey in the Meadowlands. They actually used to do it in a concert venue in the city. And that was the first show I ever went to where I got to see like some of like the big hip hop artists at the time. If I remember correctly, I think House of Pain was there. A couple of other like Daz Effects and Gangstar. A few of those like big early 90s like hip hop
I got
artists.
to see House of Pain. They were fun.
Me too. They were old by that time.
Yeah.
Yeah. But my favorite, I have two favorite concerts. One of them was, and this was when it was Carlos Santana. This was where he was playing at the Garden. This is already him when he started doing more of the pop music. But went to see him at the Garden with my wife and a few friends of ours, and he literally took an hour. He goes, listen, he literally said on stage, "You guys are gonna hear the hits. I just want to jam out right now." And he just started jamming out to like old Santana music that it blew my mind. For an hour, he just went on and said, "I'm gonna play what I want to play. Then I'll play what you guys want to hear." It was such a cool experience. Um, but the other cool concert, it was actually a cover band. There's a cover band out here called Bon Journey. They're a Bon Jovi and Journey cover band.
Really?
And
I never even heard of that.
listen, they actually played out here at the same music festival where the Marley Brothers were playing this past summer.
Yeah, the Great South Bay.
Great South Bay, yeah. Bon Journey was there. They just played it. I missed it because the night that they were playing, we weren't here. But what the cool thing about their show is they mix Bon Jovi and Journey songs, and in the middle of their show, they actually do a tribute to Rock of Ages, and they go through the entire Rock of Ages catalog for like the Broadway show, and then they go back to every show they end up with "Don't Stop Believing," which is one of the corniest
Yo,
songs, but also
those
one of
are
the best songs ever.
those are two of my guilty pleasure bands, bro. I'm always when any of their songs come on, man. I'm
Oh
singing
my
that
God,
shit
for
loud.
sure,
It's my
for sure.
life.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
listen,
Hell yeah.
just like that, I'm a huge Bob Marley fan. You'll see my Bob Marley flag right here in my office. Would love to have seen him live, but more importantly, the purple one, Prince, right here. Man, if I could have seen him live, that would have made my day.
It was a lot of fun to see live.
All right, now Troy, I don't know if you can hear me or not, but we got a pretty bad echo on your end. So I don't know if you have external speakers we can mute.
Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And am I still echoing?
There's a little bit of an
I
echo.
can't. Yeah, I hear a little bit of feedback.
Huh.
We're echoing for you. So you gotta turn your speakers down.
Living on a Prayer is my go-to song.
Sky Dog talking about living on a prayer on his Walkman. For me, it was shots. You give love a bad name. I used to play that on my Walkman when I was 6 years old and sing it at the top of my lungs. That was the first song I ever liked.
I'm going to try to unmute you again to see if we still have feedback. I think we are. Yeah.
Huh. I'm gonna grab something. I'm gonna try something here.
You're good now. Well, no,
No, it's
When it went
so
dark, it sounded like an
we're gonna take
alien
some
was shooting
questions
them
from the
before. I'm like,
audience
what's
real
going
quick.
on?
Let's,
Listen, just mute him until he's ready to talk.
Yep. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take some questions from the audience. This is from earlier on. I got to scroll back up here a little bit. Let's see here. And this has going back to like the caps and everything. And the first one here is Larry. Have you all made an effort to avoid Boston Scally and other Chinese-made caps after
Oh, here we go.
found funky brands and some other sites? I know you can find Italian and even UK stuff for similar or less money. So has any of you guys ever just stepped away just because of the China brand or China making? I know myself, it's not so much the reason of that. It's the quality recently of Boston Scally. Now this cap here from Shirt Show that I have is the Republican of China, whatever it is, and it's great quality compared to some of the quality that Boston Scally has. This is top notch quality. So I don't mind where the cap is made. It's just the quality control of the company that's selling them. Obviously, Todd at Church Show was on his P's and Q's and make sure he paid attention to that. What about you? And I'll go with you, Brandon.
I shop everybody, man. I do Funky Brim, Swisher, just everybody. Boston Scally, and I don't really have a problem with it. I have been kind of getting away from Boston Scally as of late. just because I found different hat places, funky brims, and I like the whole European kind of appeal to it. So, but I like the Made in America stuff too, like the dude from what's his name, Mulligan
Mulligan.
Gear, Mulligan Gear, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. So that's I'm just all over the place, man. So yeah,
Yeah, Skydog said that BSC has my size. Most others don't. Like I said, we were discussing that in the break before that about the people that had 2XLs and things like that are a lot harder to find with other companies. What about
yeah.
you, Anox? Does that affect you at all? Do you even care? Or
Nah, not at all, man. If you drop a banger, I'm buying it. Even
yeah,
if it's Boston Scally, like I'll skip a lot of their stuff, and yeah, you expand your horizons, and I'm getting into more other caps now than ever before. I'm also getting more used to how my head looks on certain shape caps now. Um, or how certain shape caps look on my head now. More than just the standard, like the Boston Scally keeps putting out the same shapes. I feel like, but from where it's made, I don't care because there are. And Swisher was talking about this on another show. There are a lot of high quality manufacturers in China. So it's about. I've even gotten some good hats on Temu. I mean, it's hit or miss. So I'm not, making any political statement or anything like that, like where the hat's made. If I like the hat, I'm buying it. I'm putting it on my head. Even if
I
I haven't
agree.
bought the Boston Scally one in a long time, I'm not saying I'm done with Boston Scally. Even with quality control issues, stuff like that, which I haven't had many over the years. Boston Scally puts out a hot hat. I'm copping it.
I agree 100%. What about you, Chad?
Yeah, I've got some nice caps from Boston Scally. I like. I don't really care where they're made. If I like the quality of the cap, I'll buy it. With Boston Scally, though, uh, they're really consistent sometimes regarding size, and some of their caps are kind of a little too gimmicky for me. But they do make some nice caps that I like. I really like the caps I recently got from Peaky Hat. Also, Funky Brims has some really cool caps. There's some other sites that like Swisher and some of those other ones. I don't have caps yet, but I think they look like they have some nice stuff from reviews I've seen from some of you guys do with them.
Yeah.
Mhm. Ed?
Yeah, again, it's more about quality control for me. Where they're made is irrelevant as long as they're putting out a good quality. Like for example, like I have over 50 Boston Scally hats. I've had quite a few with quality control issues, and it's really more the sizing, and
Yeah,
which
Mhm.
Moose and I had a conversation about this earlier. Kudos to their customer service department because they take care of everything, but I feel like they still don't address the quality control issues. But you have a cap like for example, the Rad Cap, right, from Shirt Show. Todd proudly said, "Hey, this is made in China, but it's a great quality cap, 100% wool." You know, he made sure that these caps were made right. All three of the colors that he put out, he made sure that these things were made right because he was slapping his name on it. And
Mhm.
it doesn't matter where they're made as long as you get a good manufacturer that's going to make it. Peaky Hat, for example, great caps, they're all made in China as well. It's Unfortunately our country is not a manufacturing country anymore. Everything got outsourced to Asia and then to other countries as well. And a lot of the manufacturers have really stepped it up. They've put out quality stuff. There's a lot of things that we own that we didn't know were made in China. That's why they actually switched those labels over to PRC to kind of
I noticed
get
that,
away
man.
from the
Yeah.
made in China. Now it's made in PRC. And if you're not hip to it, you won't notice that, oh, People's Republic of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know, that's the
No,
thing. I
exactly.
collect. I collect a lot of knives, and a lot of cheap knives are made in China, but also a lot of very nice knives are made in China.
Yeah.
It's not being made in China. It's the manufacturer there, whether it's going to be good or not. I mean, you have good and bad in all
Yeah.
countries,
And
Yeah.
the
manufacturer
pig
wise.
and the piggyback what off Ed was saying is like, with the quality control with what you're saying with the shirt show is that they're still a small business. So they're still trying to make sure to where Boston Scally, your people are going to get it regardless because of the name of the brand. And
Yeah.
so they have that leniency to where, okay, we can make mistakes as long as one, if we have great customer service, we can, but without actually fixing the issue because they're so mass produced. But
Exactly.
yeah, I agree. Yeah, I agree with that 100%. And what about you, Troy? I know you're a Boston Scally guy, and
I am, but I tell you what, I've got my eye on the peaky hats. I've
mhm.
been look you and Chad. I've been
They've quickly become
watching
my
everything.
favorite company.
Yeah, I've been watching a lot of what you do, Chad, with with these reviews from Peaky Hat and also, and I tell you what, I'm about ready to pull the trigger finally on some of those, definitely. So
Yeah, grab one of their Ivy caps. Those look really good.
yeah, those
I haven't heard a single bad thing about those new Ivy caps they've put out.
yeah, I've just been back, I've been sitting back watching, and watching Peaky Hat, grow, amongst a lot of viewers on, a lot of people that have YouTube channels, and I'm seeing more and more reviews, and I'm seeing a lot of people very happy with Peaky Hat. So,
Yeah.
yeah, so it's I've just been kind of waiting for the right time to kind of get involved with that. I wanted to see what other people were experiencing with them before I started, jumping at the gun on that.
Oh,
So, but
he's a person. So like, if you want
yeah,
customer service, you're talking to the guy.
yeah,
Yeah.
You can
yeah.
message him and he's talking to you.
And
It's
I'm
not like
impressed with that.
yeah.
Definitely impressed with that. Yes, absolutely. So yeah, I'm getting very close to pulling the trigger on a couple of Peaky hats. So
You love
cool.
them.
Yeah. So I'm loving what I'm seeing so far. So, but
I
yeah, I've
got a
been
couple on
stuff
my
with Bob.
I
I've
got a
been,
couple on my Christmas list with the Rads too.
but yeah, I've been pretty dedicated to Boston Scally. I'll admit, I've been, that's who I've been buying from for the past 4 years pretty much, and but now I'm starting to see these other companies. I've bought a few things from Funky Brims also and Shirt Show and but it's been the Boston Scally stuff on those sites too. I've actually bought, but so anyway, but I'm starting to look at broadening my horizons a little bit for sure. So, but
So I'm gonna go ahead and ask these guys that are watching, all the viewers, if you have any more questions, go ahead and put them in the chat. We're gonna go back to some of the cigar talk with Troy here, and like I said, I don't know anything about cigars. I mean, other than I'll be honest with you, I've told these guys this before. I have never smoked a day in my life, so I don't even
yeah,
know what that, no matter what it was. So,
well,
but
and I've never smoked a cigarette. I've never chewed. I've never done any of the vapes. I've never done any of that. I've never smoked pipes either, which I thought about giving pipes a try, but the whole cigar thing, it's all about relaxation. It's almost like if you were to sit down with a glass of wine and smell the wine and swish it around in your mouth and taste it, that's really what cigars is pretty similar to. It's about relaxation. It's about the aromas from the cigars, the taste. You when you don't inhale cigars, you just pull the smoke in your mouth, get a taste of that smoke. Which there's so many great taste notes with that, and then you blow it out. You don't inhale it into your lungs or anything like that. So it's really about relaxation, taste, and aromas. It's really about that. So
and Skydog Reviews wants to know what your favorite cigar is.
my favorite cigar is, well, it would be probably the Undercrown Foundation. The foundation. That's a really it's a very peppery, chocolatey, dark roast coffee spice kind of taste notes with that. So that's probably my favorite. My other favorite would be the Fat Bottom Betty from the
That's
Drew
mine.
Estate.
That's
Yeah,
mine.
that was my
Ed got me one when New Orleans brought it back for
that,
me.
that was my very first cigar, and I was introduced to cigars by two ex-Dallas Cowboys. That's how I got into cigars. I was invited to Dallas. A friend of mine at the time had gotten involved with a company called Religion Tequila, and he had bought into this. And he lived here in Kimball, Nebraska. We were in Rotary together, and then he ended up moving to Dallas, Texas, to get involved with this Religion Tequila. And of all things, Ed Too Tall Jones from the Dallas Cowboys and Kenny the Shark Gant bought into this
Hmm.
company as well. And of course, my buddy that moved down there told him how big of a Cowboys fan I was and how big of a fan I was of these two guys that he just happened to partner up with. And so they invited me down, and we met at a private club, and we hung out, talked. They signed all my memorabilia, and they had these little black travel cases with them sitting on this coffee table. I couldn't figure out what that was. And then we went out. They said, let's go outside and sit out on the patio. So we went out there, and they broke open these boxes, and it was full of cigars. And that was so throughout my life, I was smoking Swisher Sweet on my birthday, or if I went camping with my buddies, and we thought we were living the high life with a Swisher Sweet. And I always thought the real stuff was probably the terrible stuff. Probably didn't taste good, but I was absolutely wrong. So they introduced me to the Fat Bottom Betty. That was what Kenny the Shark Gann handed me, was that. And because he asked me what taste I liked, and I told him I'd been smoking Swisher Sweets throughout my life. So he goes, here, try this. It's probably pretty similar to what you've experienced. And it was, but much better, of course, much better tasting than those dang Swisher Sweets. So that was my introduction to the real stuff, and came back from that Dallas trip, and here a little bit later was Father's Day, and my wife and my son surprised me with some real cigars and cutter lighter, a tabletop cigar humidor, and some nice ashtrays for outside. So so my wife and my son got me kind of hooked up for my first stuff that I ever started smoking here at home. So, and it's just been part of my life since. It's just been, I've met so many great people through it. I've met so many really cool, very genuine, nice people in the cigar business that have just been very generous and very helpful to me with a lot of things in my life. And it's just been a great community. It really is. It's just a very positive community also. So.
And actually got a question for him.
Yeah, just to jump off what he just said, it is another whole community. And you know how our hack
Just
community
like, yeah.
our hack community is really big on Facebook. My Instagram page, the hack community is like nothing. So my Instagram page is my cigar community, and it's a very, very similar types of community, the way everybody shares things and everything, and giveaways, stuff like that. And it's another cool community for sure. But my question would be for Troy. Do you consider yourself because some people they go for notes, and some people just say I like full body, I like medium body, like a heavy cigar, a light cigar. I'm a variety guy. I'll smoke all different things. Do you consider yourself certain I like a full body, medium body, or are you just all over the place?
I really like to stick to more of the full body cigars, but I like a lot of taste notes. I like a cigar that's got a lot of complexity, just with a lot of different taste notes. But I tend to go more towards the darker, bolder kind of cigars that are peppery, and I love when I eat my regular foods, I love spicy stuff. When I drink coffee, I love bold, dark coffees. If I like to eat a piece of chocolate, I love the darkest chocolate I can find. And those are the taste notes I love to find in the cigars I smoke also. So
Robustos.
I'm
I love
sorry.
spicy food.
Yeah. But I do once in a while, I do like to go back to my Fat Bottom Betty and smoke one of those, maybe after a good Italian meal or a heavier meal. I like to have, if I'm trying to stay away from sweets or some kind of dessert, I will go to having one of those instead for my dessert, So I do like to have my sweet cigars once in a while. So
I got a question in the chat from Skydog. Your favorite region on cigars? Dominican, Honduran, etc.
I love Dominican. It's just got the Dominican cigars have a lot of. It's just got a good balance of different taste notes. You got your spice, you got your you got your kind of natural tobacco sweetness, and you got your kind of boldness with it. It's just a great mixture of it's just a good balance of the different taste notes. It really is. So.
Yeah, it's such a false notion that Cubans are the best. It's just
And it's
You know,
really,
Dominican
yeah.
cigars are just as good.
I've got some Cubans, and I'll tell you what, I would rather smoke a good Perdomo or, like I said, my foundation Tabernacle.
Foundations are great, yeah.
Yeah, over a Cuban cigar. I've had several Cubans, and there's a lot of good Cubans, but I've had cigars that are still made with Cuban seed, but over in Nicaragua or someplace like that,
Yeah.
that's just as outstanding, or maybe even better than some of the Cubans. They're just very overrated cigars, and people think they're the best you can get. And I'm not going to disagree with some of that. There are some really great Cubans out there, but
Just that you can't get them. That's why.
yeah, it's hard. It's hard to get real Cubans.
Yeah,
It's just,
you don't know.
and that's
if
why
it's
they're
real.
so. That's why people are on the hunt for them so much, because they're just so hard to get. And then
Yeah.
there's also a lot of fakes, out there. A lot of fake Cubans that people have got a hold of that they think that's the real thing, and they find out it's really not. So Cuban cigars are the most sought after cigars, but they're also the most. There's so many companies that reproduce them, and there's just the quality's terrible, and they try to get you to think that they're the best, when they're really not. So, but
I got another question from Doug. Do you do anything with your beard after you smoke?
well, I make sure I take a shower at night before I go to bed. No, I take a shower at night, and I wash my beard really good, and I use special beard shampoo that I have, and then I'll put my beard oil, I'll rub beard oil through my beard really good and through my skin, and brush my beard good and all that. But no, I don't do anything with it after, but just take a good shower. And I just don't want to go to bed smelling like a cigar smoke when I'm going to bed with my wife at night. She doesn't probably appreciate that too much, I'm sure. so,
All right, Brandon, Ed, or Chad, you guys have any questions on cigars?
Yeah, man.
No,
So,
not
do you ever find yourself going back to like Swisher Sweets just for the the reminiscing and yeah,
Like
I
smoking
I
Dutch
had
Master.
or backwoods or something
Billy
like
Boy.
that. Yeah,
I've never smoked backwoods. I've never smoked those at all. But
yeah,
I had a buddy of mine that gave me a pack of Swisher Sweets just to be funny,
yeah.
and I went ahead and smoked one just to see what it would taste like now to me compared to like when I was in my 20s smoking them. And I got about a quarter of the way through, and I had to throw it away. I couldn't do it. It was terrible.
That's what you said you're going to throw up.
Yeah, it was just the most awful tasting stuff. I was like, wow. So anyway, yeah, so I tried just for fun, but I couldn't do it. I couldn't finish it. Yeah.
Gotcha. Do you do like pipe smoking and all
Do I
that,
what?
or you just pipe smoking like pipe tobacco?
I haven't, but my dad smoked a pipe a lot when he was alive, and I miss the way
Yeah.
that smells, that cherry. He was always smoking like cherry flavored tobacco.
Yeah.
And I do miss that. I thought about trying a pipe finally. It's been on my mind, but I haven't jumped it, or I haven't pulled the trigger on that yet. But I thought about it. So we'll see.
Cool.
So, but I
You're
just
right,
really
but
enjoy
Swisher
cigars.
Sweets were just used for blunts.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
Yeah, that's one thing I've never done. I've never smoked pot or anything in my life. I've never done any of that. My dad
The
told me
devil's
a lot of-
lettuce.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My dad
And-
told
and
me a
as
lot
far
of
as the
stories
pipe,
growing up
yeah.
that scared me of drugs, and I've never done drugs in my life at all ever. But
Well, and that's
You
what
went-
I was about to get to is that, man, the only I know no one in my family ever smoked. I did have a brother-in-law that smoked a glass pipe, and then you wouldn't see him for like 3 or 4 days, and then he died because of it. But
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
yeah, but yeah. So, but yeah, as far as that, now I do got another one that says Captain Black, little unflavored cigars are great to retro hail.
Captain Black, huh?
Yeah, I'm not too great at the retro hail thing. I'm still trying.
I don't even know what that is.
It's like you blow it out, the smoke out through your nose, so you get the whole flavor coming through your like your
Yeah,
sinuses.
you get other taste notes through your nasal cavity there
Yeah.
when you. when you
Right,
do
right.
retrohaling. So yeah.
So does that just
So-
speed up like the cancer, or what when you do that? I'm just asking.
It definitely gives you
it's
the full taste, though. You don't, I don't think, experience the real full taste without a good retro hail. So I'm trying to get better at it, but
yeah, me
you
too.
know,
It's still something I'm working on also.
yeah.
There's not really any proven links yet that with cigars and cancer. There's nothing
No,
that they
I was
have.
kidding around about that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, but there's nothing that has been actually found yet where cigars have been linked to any
Yeah,
kind
it's
of
because you
cancer.
don't inhale
So
them into your lungs, and it's more the chewing tobacco linked to the mouth
Mhm.
cancer and
Yeah.
yeah,
stuff like that.
so that was why part of me was a little more comfortable with trying cigars, because I did my studying in the beginning after I had my first cigar with those guys with the ex-Cowboys guys, but after I had that first cigar, I kind of started, doing some investigating and studying on like links with cancer, and there really was nothing out there that was, has been found that's really been linked to cigars. So I
Well, it's
know there's a lot of,
like what you said before. It's like like wine. You gotta slowly smoke it and enjoy it. Smoke it, put it
yeah,
down. Like
yeah,
it's a long. If you don't smoke it right, you're gonna get sick right away. That'll
yeah.
stop you from not smoking it right.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely recommend if you're new to cigars, definitely start off with some of the lighter cigars, and definitely have a good meal before it. Have plenty of fluids to drink and something to
Yeah,
snack on. Especially if you're gonna jump into trying some more of the fuller stuff. So the first
cigar
time
stuff
I
is terrible.
the first time I the first cigar I had outside of the Fat Bon and Betty was that Foundation Tabernacle, and it was a Churchill, a really long cigar, and I didn't eat anything or drink. I had nothing to drink with me too much. I hadn't ate anything, and I got down to the last quarter of that cigar, and I stood up to go get something to drink, and I had the biggest buzz ever. I thought I was gonna fall over and pass out. It was so I
Dude,
learned my lesson that day.
yeah.
So
That nicotine sickness always, anytime I got nicotine sick from smoking a cigar too fast when I was a noob, reminds me of that Sandlot scene where they all chew the tobacco and they're getting sick on that round
oh
hill.
yeah,
You see all
right.
their different faces, they're about
I
to puke,
remember. Yeah,
and they
I'll
throw
never
up all
forget
over the
that.
ride.
Right. Oh
Now,
boy.
I got a question. Go back to Ed. Ed, we know you also you're Ed the tax guy. So what got you into doing the taxes and all the other good stuff?
Oh man. So you really want to get into the boring stuff? Okay. I
I had a lot of
all right.
questions for him the other night. He knows a lot. He knows his shit.
Yeah. So actually my background is actually in finance, financial services. I worked in Wall Street for like 10 years, and then I like over 20 years in financial services as an accountant, accounting manager, etc. And almost 10 years ago, out of pure necessity, I started learning how to prepare taxes. I started doing our own taxes for my wife and I, and then that led to doing taxes for like friends and family for free. And for years, I just I would download the software like TurboTax and stuff, download the software, learn how to do taxes until a few years ago. When I bought when I bought our house out here in Long Island, New York, I needed help with property taxes. There was stuff that I wasn't aware of, and so a family friend of ours recommended their tax preparer. So I hired him. He helped me out with the tax prep and stuff. And I had so many questions for the guy. He's like, dude, like you know your stuff. Like what you should be working with us instead of being a client. So next thing you know, I like they used their tax ID to sponsor me. I got my license with the IRS, became a licensed tax professional. Then I got my license with the state of New York. Then I got licensed with in New Jersey, and so I'm basically licensed across all 50 states to do tax prep and tax planning. And what so that started growing. I got my own tax ID, got my own LLC, started my own tax practice here in New York. Then, because I have 20 plus years of accounting experience, I started helping some friends of mine that are like, self-employed small business owners doing their bookkeeping and their quarterly sales tax. And then that itself branched out into its own thing. So now I'm doing, tax prep bookkeeping, for small businesses and for individuals, people that work on 1099s that are self-employed. And it's been growing for the last 3 years. The business, I'm really looking forward to the day that I can quit my day job and just focus on just on my business on its own. But it's getting there. A couple more years and I'll be able to flip the switch and just go full on just
And
tax prep
I got a
and bookkeeping.
gotcha. I just got a question asking for a friend. I say if your friend has a lump sum of money and you're trying to hide it from the IRS for them to have that. So, what would your best advice be from a friend of mine to kind of hide that money so the IRS doesn't try to send you a letter in the mail saying you owe $500,000 in taxes 10 years later?
So unfortunately, there's not there. I can't recommend any legal way of hiding money, uh, but it all depends on how the money was acquired and where and what is done with the funds.
Mhm.
It's really, I'll tell you this, there are plenty of legal ways to avoid taxation or double taxation without doing anything illegal that can get you in trouble or your friend in trouble.
All
I
right.
should say.
Okay. No, I appreciate that.
It involves obviously investing in the right things, products or services or businesses. Um, you can't really hide it, just use it well. I can say
Yeah.
that.
Well, I'll tell you a funny story.
Use your money smartly.
Yeah. I'll tell you a funny story. Back in 2007, I got a letter from the IRS. All right. I opened it up and they said I owed $527,000. I opened that up. I literally laid down in my bed. My wife was sitting next to me. She's like, "What's wrong?" I was like, "I'm going to jail." It was an error. That was back when was doing stock trades, and that was back when Sirius signed what's his name, the comedian,
Howard Stern. Howard
Howard
Stern.
Stern.
and their stock went from like dollar something to $9 in like 2 days or something like that. And I ended up buying it when it was like $6, and then ended up going down to $2. It looked like I made a bunch of money, and I did not. So it took me. That was back when you had to actually had fax stuff, and I had to fax like 90 pages of records of
Holy
trades,
shit.
and I ended up getting a check back for like $300, but it was like the worst 6 months of my life.
Oh my
All
God.
right.
Wow.
So yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and start going towards the end here. We got some questions from the audience, and this is gonna be a Boston Scally question. As we know, they're doing their Christmas giveaway thing where they're doing ornaments,
12 days of
scarves.
Christmas. Yeah.
Yeah, 12 days of Christmas, and they have a cap that limited 500. It's the black coal. I'm not sure what the name of it is.
The Christmas coal is what they call it.
Christmas coal.
Yeah.
Now the cap does look pretty sick. I do like the black on black.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of people complaining because there's a lot of people that spend a lot of money on Boston Scally caps that are not getting. They're getting like the hanger or something like that, which is understandable. You spend the money, you expect that they look out for you, but that's not the way the world works sometimes. And I'm just curious what you guys think about it, because we have a couple comments on here. Like Brett Skinner, he just asked us, like, talk about the Boston Scally coal cap, please. And I purposely bought the red herringbone one, even though I got the red rum from Swisher, and I'm going to do a review of comparing the two, the two side by side. I am going to do that, and but I don't know if I'm going to get that cap sent to me or not. And I mean, I 500. It seems like there's a lot. That seems like a lot of orders to where you get 500 selected. But I'm just curious as far as their marketing, it's a genius, because it's like kind of hitting like the golden ticket, Willy Wonka, if you get the cap. Well, I'm just curious what you guys' thought on it, and if you guys seen the cap, you guys like the cap.
I don't know. I like it. I like.
No, go ahead.
No, go. You go first.
I like it's kind of a crummy money grab to do your loyal customers myself. I mean, you just make the cap available for everybody to buy. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think they're caring about their customers when they do stuff like that.
We're going to go around the horn there. So go ahead. I'll let you go next, bud.
So I kind of have a controversial take on this. Everyone that's going on the Boston Scally Insider that's complaining about it, I'm sorry, but it just feels like a sense of entitlement. No matter how much money we spent on a company, bottom line is like you gave us something for free. Thank you. That's great. I'm still going to continue to support it or not support it. I don't feel like any of us, no matter how much money we spend, are entitled to this hat just because it exists. It would be great to get it, and honestly, they should make it available as a limited release.
Yes.
Even as last year, I managed to score the first Nightmare cap, the Beetlejuice cap, the black six panel with the white stripes inside.
Right.
Yeah.
That was actually a re-release because of the new Beetlejuice movie, and they made it limited to just like select people, like that frequent buyers of Boston Scally. They sent us an email, hey, this cap is available, one per person. You know what I did? I placed the order for it, and then I shared that link on Facebook, and I said, hey, anyone who can get their hands on it, go. Because hey, listen, why should I sit here and act like I had something exclusive? So if they had done something like that, like made it limited to say, hey, listen, 500 of our best customers, here you go. You have an opportunity to buy this hat that no one else is going to have. Great, that would have been perfect. The way they did it, obviously, it could be looked at as like, oh, that's a little shady. You could have done, better. You could have done right by us. But ultimately, it's it's business, right? They're using that as the dangling that carrot in front of us to
Yeah.
get people to shop
Yeah.
for those 12 days
Right.
because they're spreading it out. And actually, most if you look at your email receipt, if you actually see like mystery cap, in the same size as your hat, you're getting the Cole hat because I've seen a couple of screenshots, people that are actually going to receive it. They shared the screenshot of their order, and it's either that or you're going to get the scarf, or you're going to get the Christmas ornament, or you're going to get the dust bag. But ultimately, you're getting something for free when you're buying something you already wanted, or maybe you just didn't want it. At the end of the day,
Yeah.
it's a free gift. I don't see why people have to make such a big deal about it. It feels really like entitled at this point.
And I would imagine they have so many set aside per day. I mean, they're not going to give all 500 of them away the first day, So
No, not at all. Not at all.
yeah.
Yeah, it's very random. They're just randomly selecting. Okay, if you ordered a hat in extra large, guess what? There's a mystery extra large going in there. They actually said it in the email communication they sent out. And after I saw those screenshots of people that are getting it, it's literally you bought the red herringbone in extra large, you're getting a mystery extra large hat. Boom, you just got the Cole hat. Congratulations. Put it on eBay and sell it for $300 and see who's gonna buy it.
And Troy, I don't know if you've seen it or not. Or what are your thoughts on it?
Well, I mean, they're definitely doing it as I feel as a gimmick to get more people to buy into Boston
For sure.
Scally over the holidays.
For sure.
But to me, it's like buying a lottery ticket. I mean, you buy a lottery ticket, you maybe buy several of them, and you hope you win something out of it or get something out of it. And that's just kind of the way I look at it. It's, yeah, it's a gimmick to get more people to buy into them. But
It's just driving the price up on the secondary market for people who are going to sell them for like a whole bunch. They should have
Yeah,
just made
that's
it
the only
available to
thing.
everybody
Yeah,
for a
I know
limited
people are
time.
Why
gonna
not?
put them up on eBay and sell them for
Yeah.
buku amounts of money.
100%.
Yeah, so I mean, I have mixed feelings about it. Definitely, I do wish they would just put it out and sell it as a limited release. Definitely, and but companies are gonna do what they know that all of us that buy through them. They know how dedicated the customers are, and they're gonna do whatever they can to get more business. I mean, that's what businesses do. They find ways to get more people to buy in, and that's just what they're doing. But the one thing that drives me crazy about Boston Scally is they put out a great release, and as soon as you buy that, it's like 2 days later or something they're putting out something else again. That
Right.
just so you're constantly tempted to buy. But I've been guilty of it myself a few times. But I mean they got great ways of getting people to buy in. I mean They're good at that, definitely. So
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
called
for
an
sure.
addiction, and there's a 1-800 number for that.
yes,
But yeah.
yes,
All right, Anox, what do
absolutely.
you think, buddy? What do you think about the whole?
I tell you, it didn't excite me at all. It didn't,
Yeah,
foster anything in me when I saw it. It's a
Yeah, me
black
either.
hat. It's a black hat, and I wasn't even like, oh, I gotta get this. I gotta order something to get. It didn't work on
yeah, I
me.
felt the
The,
same way.
the,
Yeah,
the
me
gimmick,
too.
the sale, it didn't work on me. I don't think it's a big deal at all. I don't give two shits about that hat. And congratulations if you get it. Now, like you said, they're gonna spike the secondary market. Now it's gonna be a $400, Christmas Cole hat.
Yeah,
It's the fear of missing out.
Mhm.
It's the FOMO, the fear of missing out that they're feeding into, where these collectors, they just have to have their Boston Scally, and I know a lot of us fell into that. But then once time goes on, I sort of like, listen, if they put out a hat I love, I'm gonna buy it, and I'm hoping that this workshop Santa hat is nice, because
me
like the
too.
Kringle
Me
I
too.
love. I'm hoping this
Yeah,
workshop hat is nice. I really want it to be nice. I want to buy it, but if it's not, I'm not gonna buy it.
Yep.
And the other, like the Cole thing, it didn't excite me. Like I said, it just didn't work on me. I don't know why everybody's going nuts about it.
Dub.
Somebody wrote a song about this. You can't always get what you want. I mean, it's
Yeah.
just you can't. I don't
Yeah.
know. I'm like Ann. It didn't really impress me too much. I'm
Yeah,
not big on pinwheels anyway, but
yeah, me either.
uh, uh
Mhm.
that's about all I have to say about it. So
They look like they need
yeah,
a propeller on top of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
see
Uh,
that Santa one that's coming out now, the workshop, it looks unique if it's like the hat on the picture. A lot of times the hat on the picture is not the hat. So make the
yeah,
hat on
Yeah.
the picture. I like the way it's almost like a 16 panel or whatever, because it's got like, a cut where it looks like each part of the section has two colors in it. It's
Yeah,
kind of stabby. It looks
Yeah.
unique. I hope it looks like that.
it almost looks like a Hannah hat.
Yeah, yeah. Yes. And that I know what you're saying. I know what you're referring to there. So
so
we'll
I
see.
guess while we've
Pe-
been
pe-
online, I guess they did reveal the workshop from what people are posting
mm,
here online.
They
mm.
didn't they didn't
I
Okay.
haven't
reveal it
looked
yet?
at it.
No, they
I
did.
guess
They
they
did.
revealed they
Yeah.
revealed it while we've been on here.
Oh, they
And
revealed it already. All right. Is it
yeah,
coming out? Is it going to be dropping tomorrow at noon or Friday?
so I'll wait to see somebody post things in the chat.
Yeah,
Friday
because
is
I
what
heard
I
something about
understand. I
tomorrow at
thought.
noon.
I mean, we're going to take a couple more questions. First thing I want to say though is for episode 3, and when we do the Scally Cap, now we're not only going to be doing Scally Cap things in the future, we're going to be doing like nostalgia type, favorite 80s cartoons types, but Scally Caps. If we are going to do another one, what kind of guests would you like us to see? Now we do have things lined up already for Kiki Hat Ryan to join us, as well as Todd from Shirt Show. He'll join us. Chris from Funky Brim's going to join us, and Todd Swisher from Swisher Apparel is going to join us on one of our episodes.
Oh,
We're
those
just
should
trying
be
to
fun.
pinpoint. We're just trying to pinpoint what day it's going to be on a Tuesday, so we got to work around them to find out who's going to be on which day it is on a Tuesday. But yeah, if you'd like to see us do an episode 3, go ahead and put a comment on there and say yes, and who you'd like to see as our guests outside of those people who actually make the caps. Whether it's, I'd love to have Skydog on here. I know he's a busy man. I know he's in the chat, and I sent him a message before.
So,
Obviously, he doesn't like me because he didn't respond. So, but but yeah, we would love to have Skydog on here because to me,
yeah.
he's the OG. I mean,
I
he's
Yeah,
the
echo
guy
Yep.
that.
that got me in
Most
buying them,
definitely.
and
Same
it
here.
just
Come
yeah.
on,
So
dude.
yeah, but all right. So we're gonna take another question here, and it's about outside of Boston Scally. Obviously, Peaky has. I just now got my first 3 Peaky caps, and they are amazing, lightweight, and I really like them. Um, but we thought we touched a little bit based on this on the last episode, but what would you like to see like on the next releases, either with Boston Scally, Peaky? I'm more of a single panel kind of guy now, and I'm the 8 panels are to me are just a little bit too poofy for me. But you
me
know,
too.
if you were somebody watching this, where what would you recommend them go to next outside of let's say obviously most of these people are Boston Scally, so whether it's Peaky, Swisher, or it's one of those other brands, what would you recommend somebody to pick up for their next cap? Go ahead,
What we're
Doug.
starting with?
I would recommend Funky Brims for sure. The Hell's collab that they do with Hell's Flannel, I think those are pretty cool. So yeah,
For me, I mean, I'm really into Swisher now, just the way the caps come in, pre-steamed, and just there's such a quality cap. It's a wow factor when you put on your head. But I would still have to steer towards Funky Brims because of the variety. So when you
yeah,
go on Funky Brims, you're going to see such a variety that you're most likely going to find something that you like, and they're all
most
well
definitely.
made, your European made caps for the most part. So
Mhm.
that would be the next stop, I would say. And then they even have a Boston Scally section where you can get Boston Scallies for the same price at free shipping. So that would
That's
be
what I
the
was
next
gonna
stop,
say.
I would
Free
say.
shipping. Yeah,
Right,
Yeah, the free
right.
shipping, Dawson. Same thing with Swisher. He's got free shipping, and depending on the cap, they're great priced as well. So
Yeah,
those
and
those would be the
I
two.
think at Funky Brims, I don't think I could even get charged tax for them.
Yeah,
I
it's
I
think
just a
don't
about
think
straight
it.
up
so.
extra
Yeah,
price.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
what I've paid is what I've seen
and
on their site. So
And the same thing, like I said about Ryan from Peaky, you're dealing with a person. You're dealing with Chris. He's
Yeah,
the guy. He's
yeah,
the company. And
yeah,
you
yeah.
just he's your friend, man. You message him, and it's great customer service like that.
And that's the part
And
of being a
Todd
small
Swish is the same
business.
way. Todd Swish is the
Yep,
same way.
exactly. So small business, you want that. You want to have that interaction where because you can't afford not to have that interaction in order to
Yeah,
be a
with
part of the
Boston
game.
Scally, I don't know who I'm talking to. I'm talking to a
Yeah,
PR
well,
person. I'm
yeah,
talking to
yeah.
the girl in the
No,
office. I don't know.
you're talking. Yeah, you're definitely not talking to PR. But you're talking to whoever their shipping products are going through. It's not even somebody with Boston Scally. And like I said, if I were to send a message, I think his name's Mike, the owner. I'm pretty sure he's not. Hey, yeah, if it was yeah, get this. He wouldn't recommend anything because he's not going to respond to you. But
Yeah,
that's the difference
it's
between
likely
a
not.
bigger business corporation and what it would be with Peaky or Swisher or Shirt Show. But all right, Chad. What about you? What kind of cap would you recommend somebody for their first cap outside of Boston Scally?
Uh, boy, I really love these single panel Ivy caps from Peaky Cap. The apple core is a great cap. I wish they'd release those in a few more colors, but yeah, those are probably my favorite style of cap right now, and what I would recommend.
And there's finally everybody wants the ace. There he is. He's already yeah, he was pretty calm there for a while. All right, Ed. What about you, bud?
Well, obviously we've mentioned them before, but we got Swisher, we've got Shirt Show, the two Todds. You can't go wrong with either. Uh, Todd Swisher, besides his own brand, he also carries I think Mukros caps in his online shop. He carries some of those, I think the Epoch caps. He has a nice selection. And then our friend Todd Soren over at Shirt Show, besides his own cap right now, he also carries some of the hologram caps, just like Funky Brims. It's a popular cap. I actually have a bunch of holograms here that I've gotten. So there's so many varieties, so many choices. I lean towards supporting small businesses, and obviously the company that has the biggest selection is Funky Brims. Chris Lop
Yeah,
and Sarah have a great model, great setup there. A big selection of those European caps. But then you have the Swishers, you have the Rad caps now, another option we can look into. And I'm looking forward to seeing these guys grow and just put out more products and still maintain that level of quality that they're consumers themselves, so they know that they're not gonna sell something they wouldn't buy themselves, and that's what I
yeah.
respect and love about these guys.
And I got a question from Doug. Doug actually stated here. He's like, Funky Rims has a reward program, which is sweet. Same thing with Swisher. They have that rewards program after I think you get
Yep,
$25 off or something like that. But yeah, that's another perk like that. I don't understand because even Dixon does it on the flannel side. How come
yep.
Boston Scally doesn't offer that on their end?
They don't give
There's
you
got to be
anything.
yeah. They give you
How about
a
that
free
email they
free
send that's
shipping.
like, yeah, congrats, you're a VIP. And I'm like, where's my code? You're just
Yeah,
congratulating me that I'm a VIP and I get
yeah.
nothing.
Yeah. Um,
yeah. So it's kind of weird that they don't have one, but you would think that you know it would be another perk for the people to get addicted even quicker. But hey, I only
yeah.
got to spend $100 more, and I get $25 off on top of the three. If I purchase three, I get $25, so it saves you $50.
Yeah.
I
And then
guess that's the
they
business
took
side of
away
me
the
that
free
doesn't make
shipping.
sense.
They took
Yeah,
away the
that-
free
Yeah.
shipping on the 3-hat deal.
yeah, right.
Yeah,
Yeah, and that was
that was a
the
big
biggest perk.
People were
that was
pissed
a
Yeah.
off
big
about
one.
that.
Do
I
you
know a
guys
couple people
remember?
stopped buying because of that.
Mhm.
Yeah, listen. Do you guys remember Tim Skydog literally put together a spreadsheet
Oh
with
yeah,
all of the
Excel.
codes,
Yeah.
all of the discounts, and this
Yeah.
is the best combination? Man, this guy was genius. And the
Yeah.
best deal was 3 caps, $25 off, and free shipping. You couldn't beat that.
And they saw
That's how I built
they
my
saw that
collection of
video.
office flyers.
Yeah,
They saw
yeah,
Skydog's video and they were like, "That's enough of that."
yeah.
No
Way
more.
to go there, Sky Dog. Way to go, Tim. We appreciate
Yeah.
it. You
But
ruined it
one
for
thing I do
everybody
gotta
now.
say is though, the dust bags never came with the hats. Now you get a free dust bag with every hat. That's something that they do now. They never did that before.
Yeah,
Yeah, he just not responded. He just put on there. He's like, that my Excel spreadsheet is useless now.
they made it
Yeah, but
obsolete.
I think he even went up to like 6 or 9 caps or something like that. He broke it down. It was like something astronomical. Yeah, but that was when he was doing those reviews. That had like 20 caps in a review. Yeah.
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 All right. Yeah. Doug just went Sky Dog's fault. All right. So we're pretty much wrapping it up here now. We're gonna go ahead and take. We'll do one more question for everybody, and we'll go round table to answer it. So the next question in the chat will be the one that gets asked. Come on now, baby steps. Yeah. So we got the. Skydog just up on. He's like, I got another large review coming. Yeah, because he's been on all those trips. He's been gone for 2 months on a cruise because the government
Yeah.
shutdown. Yeah, he didn't want to work in the air traffic control. I guess. I wonder if he was one of the ones that got the $10,000 bonus for working during the shutdown.
Maybe.
What if he's
Alright,
one of the
so-
ones who got the Christmas call?
Hawaii. Yeah, you got the Christmas call. Yeah. All right, come on. Next question here. Who's got the next question for us? No, he didn't. He didn't get the bonus. He did say that. All right, so I'm gonna go back from earlier for a question from earlier.
No,
This is
somebody
last
just
question.
posted one.
What's that?
Somebody just posted a question.
Oh, did they? Okay, let me go back.
Jimmy.
On. Which one is it?
Jimmy.
It's not showing.
Says, do you try to match your hat, cap with your
Oh, yeah.
shirt and pants?
Yeah. All right. So yeah, do you guys try to match? I know I try to match my shirt, but when I'm at work. But I mean, when I take my pictures at work, when I post them on the pages, I don't know, but I really got shorts on underneath all that stuff. Yeah, it was like I'm kind of like a news reporter. As soon as I get up from the desk, I got shorts on. But yeah, so but I try to match at least the shirt. What about you, Dub?
Yeah, I like to match a solid with plaid or vice versa. So yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, so I definitely, if you see all my posts, I definitely try to match the shirt. Pants, I mean, that's kind of tough. I mean, I have a limited amount of pants, so sometimes it all comes together. Sometimes it definitely all comes together, but definitely I try to match the shirt some way with the hat. I usually, to be honest with you, pick the shirt out first, and then I'll pick the hat to match, unless I just know I want to wear a hat that day. Certain hat that day.
Chad?
Most of my stuff kind of matches each other, so it's not that hard. I don't wear like a lot of. I wear a lot of neutrals in that, so I mean it's not really much of an issue for me.
But it looks like you got something good going on tonight, though, with that shirt and that hat.
Yeah, it's just a gray hat though.
Yeah, well,
match anything I wear.
Matches everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Ed's usually the GQ guy, so I already know who he's going to say. He usually has the scarf and everything ready.
Ed's with the pea coat and the scarf and everything.
Well, listen, after 20 years working in finance, having to get, dressed up, shirt and tie, slacks and stuff, nice sweaters, I always have to put an outfit together, and the hat always just has to complement it. So nowadays, especially in the winter time, if I'm wearing a coat, I just make sure that I'm wearing a hat that complements the coat or vice versa. So if I'm wearing like a blue pea coat, you're going to see me with something like the Contender, blue and orange, or maybe even the Swisher. If I'm wearing a black coat, then you're going to see a little more options and stuff. Um, yeah, so I find myself, depending on what I'm wearing, I'll literally open up the closet and decide which hat I'm going to match up to the outfit.
Right, yeah. I work backwards like that too. But I'm
Do
jealous of
you
you the way you get to dress up like that. I roll out of bed and go in my back office to work.
Yeah. Yeah. Like you
do,
got an important job or something, you know? All right. What about you, Troy?
Well, I definitely like to have my hats, match my coat or jacket. But I wear a lot of black, so I wear a lot of black most of the time. So unless I'm at work, but of course at my work you know will try to match my hats with my shirts at work. But I outside of work I wear a lot of black. So most of my hats usually match whatever I'm wearing for my shirts. But if I've got a shirt on that's got some purples in it or blues, I do try to find a hat that kind of matches that a little bit. So I do to a point. But
Swisher Nevermore with the purple.
There you go.
Oh,
All right. I got Doug asking one more thing. This is a quick response. Any of you have any new merch of your own coming soon? There is a link to my Redbubble, which also has the gentleman's roundtable shirts on there, as well as reviews of Moose. I know Dub's working on something. Go ahead, Dub.
yeah, I got some Dubs Hat Hub stuff I'm working on, and another idea called the Scally Life that I'm working on as well. Doing like cryptids and kind of old school tattoo looking stuff with the scally caps. So I'm gonna try putting some stuff out in a couple of weeks. So yeah, trying to keep up with these other guys, man. So
And I,
Well, currently I got the pin with Pinhead's pins, the Boondock Saints Anox pin, which is kind of selling really well. So we want to try to get rid of the rest of those, and then it'll be retired like other Pinhead's pins. So if you can pick one of those up. And then I got the Christmas stuff. I got the Krampus shirt out that somebody had requested I make. And I got this the Badass Santa one on my Redbubble shop. If you're watching on my channel, there's the link there. Moving forward into the next year, I have this thing in my head where I sort of want to branch away from the Anox a little bit and get a little more creative with some other things that I have going in my mind. So I'll definitely unveil that when the time is right. But otherwise, currently it's the holiday stuff in that pin.
all right. Go ahead, Chad. I know
don't
you got a bunch.
Yeah, I want to move all my merch to a new merch company. I've been having a lot of problems with spring being late, getting merch out to people, and that they recently switched over to another owner, and so I'm thinking about moving everything over to Redbubble or one of these other ones. If you guys have any you can recommend.
Yeah, I mean the margin on Redbubble is really low, but they kind of take care of everything, and the shirts are high quality. They're good, really nice print, good quality shirts.
And it ships within 48 hours.
Yeah, I ordered a couple of Moose's Roundtable shirts. I ordered the South Park one and one of the other ones, the Garbage Pail Kids one. And so I was going to see how I liked those. And if I liked them, I was going to move all my merch over to that company.
Moose, the
And
reviews with Moose. When I searched the reviews with Moose, I can't find it on Redbubble. I had to go by your link.
same here. I couldn't find it either.
I sent them a message. I'm waiting for them to respond.
I think maybe you're too new on there. It might take a couple weeks to populate.
Yeah, it's only been there maybe a week.
Yeah, it's gonna take a little while. Yeah, that's what.
Ed and Troy, do you guys have any merch for any of our guys watching?
I ordered the South Park shirt from you.
Nice.
Yeah, just because I live close to Colorado, and I go to Colorado quite a bit, so I thought it'd be a good shirt to have. So I did order that in navy blue is what I ordered that in. So my Dallas Cowboys colors, of course. So, but and then of course I've had shirts for sale too for quite a while, but through Rush Order Tees. I've got shirts for all my different podcasts, and they're pretty high quality shirts. I'm wearing one tonight, but they've been very high quality shirts. I've never had a bad shirt that's gone out to any of my followers that buy them. But usually if anyone DMs me or messages me, I can definitely tell them how they can get any of my shirts. So, but so anyway, but I don't have anything. I don't have anything new. But I am definitely interested in that Redbubble. That might be something I might be looking at too for maybe my shirts as well. So
All right. All right. So that's going to pretty much wrap up the show. Ed, you didn't have any merch, did you, bud?
No, not at all. I just support all of you guys that have merch. And now that I know that Chad has some merch out there and you have your Redbubble shirt store, like I have Anox stuff. Definitely a lot of the shirt show stuff. They really like knock it
yeah,
out the park with all the Scally Crew tees and pins. So yeah, that's just I've been more of a collector and supporter. Yeah, there you go.
Nice.
I got that dust bag too.
yeah, yeah. Great company. They definitely are. Shirt show. Really do like them. So
All right. So that's going to pretty much wrap it up. First, I want to say thank you for us regular 4 Dub, first 508th, and Ox. And also, I want to say a huge thank you to Troy and Ed for joining us
it's been
today.
a wow.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
It's been
Thank
an
you. It's been
honor
fun.
to
It's
be
been
here.
fun.
It's
Definitely
been a
an
Troy.
pleasure.
honor.
And,
Yeah, so great to be with
look-
you guys, and what an honor tonight. Thank you so much for having me.
no
Thanks a lot,
problem.
man.
Same here.
All right, we'll keep you
Thanks
guys
for
updated
coming.
when the next episode is going to be coming out. And I'm
Sounds
sure it'll
good.
be a couple more Tuesdays, unless we hear something back from one of those people who actually run the sites. Then we will probably make one maybe every Tuesday for the time being. But again, thanks for tuning in, everybody, and we appreciate everybody watching. We'll see you guys next time.
See ya.
Bye.
All right.
Bye now.
Bye.